good afternoon. Bibsy Grim back with another review, and this one is one I've been so excited to share with you all. And today it is Fusion Haze's Goblin Snot. How beautiful is that bottle? Now I ordered it the afternoon and the very next day it appeared. It was that quick. I got this from the website Fusion Haze, and it came in a 25ml short fill, and once I'd nicked it up with enough nicotine, which was 5ml nicotine, it became 30ml. Now, Goblin Snot is absinthe flavoured e-juice. And absinthe, if you are not familiar with the flavour of absinthe, is aniseed and a slightly minty undertone. It's got fennel and it's got sugar and it's got all the good stuff. It was once dubbed the Green Fairy because it was believed that you saw fairies when you indulged, when the artists, the brooders, the unsavouries indulged in absinthe. They would see fairies and they would see spirits and they would see sprites. This is what attracts me to absinthe, because absinthe containing fusion is a little bit psychotropic, so it can make you feel a little bit relaxed and whenever you saw things in the corner of your eye. So this came and I was cynical to say the least, and I opened it and I smelled it. That's absinthe. That's bang on, full on absinthe. The green, snotty, bogey green, and the thickness of it is just phenomenal, and it's magical. And it had me thinking that it was a bottle of absinthe, because that is very much the way I view absinthe. That they're two of the same. They're interchangeable almost. You could vape one and the other. It's phenomenal. So let's strip a little bit and have a taste. This has been nicked up, like I said, with 5ml nick shot. It's incredibly thick, and it is literally like the snot that's fallen from the nose of a goblin with a cold. It's crazy. So let's give it a whirl. It's there straight away. The first flavour I get is the aniseed and the fennel and the herbal flavour, and then on the inhale it's incredibly cooling and refreshing, and then on the exhale there's that sugar, and there is that taste of green, and it tastes as if green, it tastes like the colour green would taste. And if I keep vaping, I could almost imagine Vincent Price on one side of me and Dracula on the other. It's gothic. It's It's not a flavour for the faint of heart. It's definitely a flavour for the brooding, for the unsavoury, for the eccentric, for the beaten and the broken and the damned. It's a strong, punchy flavour. It's a flavour of decades and decades and decades gone by. It's the flavour that reminds me of Victorian horror stories around the fire on Christmas Eve. Now, interestingly, another name for absinthe or Goblin Snot is Artemisia absinthium, and that is quite literally spirit. That is literally a fusion spirit, and this is what it tastes. It tastes ethereal. It tastes demonic almost. It tastes full-bodied and deep like red wine or whiskey. The absinthe is bang on. It's exactly as absinthe dripped over a cube of sugar and into that glass from a tap taste. It's divine. I can hear Vincent Price and Dracula and the fire's crackling. There's no electric. And an old leather bound book is in front of me, and I can taste a little bit of mint, and I can taste a peppery aftertaste, and I can taste fennel, and I can taste aniseed, and it's so refreshing. It makes my mouth pucker for more. It's a bold statement of a flavour. It's not a hint towards, if you don't like aniseed, this isn't the flavour for you. If you love aniseed, I would really recommend it. Now, let's have a look at that vapour. Much like a set of one of Vincent Price's famous films. It's misty, it's ethereal, it's milky, it's theatrical, and that's tantamount of magic. That is Goblin Snot. It is magical, it's ethereal, it's milky, it's thick, it's unctuous, it's moorish, and it's definitely something you could drip while you were whiling away the summer days, or while you were gathered around a campfire in the winter. It's beautiful. I was really cynical when I found that I could vape absinthe flavour. I was excited to give it a try. This is ultimately one of my favourite juices so far. This juice gets a 10 out of 10. It gets a 10 out of 10 because it is not throaty, it is not harsh, it does not need to mature. The flavour is true to form. The flavour says absinthe on the bottle, and absinthe it bloody well is. The colour is absolutely quirky and kitsch. And anything quirky and kitsch, I'm your girl. So 10 out of 10 for the colour. The packaging is simple and punchy and to the point. And 10 out of 10 for that. And the price is absolutely phenomenal. 10 out of 10 for delivery. This is the first time I've used Fusion Haze, and it won't be the last. And again, milky. Ethereal, demonic, satanic, beautiful, beautiful artisanal absinthe, beautiful absinthe e-juice. I strongly recommend you run out and buy one. I think there's a sale over at Fusion Haze at the moment. I would really recommend it. From Vincent Price on one side of me, and from Dracula on the other, and Bibsy Grimm, 10 out of 10. Just try it. It's amazing, it's phenomenal, it's fantastic. Just run along and try it.